Okay, YouTubers, this is Joe from ArtAlienTV. Now today I've got a couple of Gigapans to show you, which I've just uploaded. There's this one from a few days ago actually, and this is Sol 3208, mass left, Curiosity rover, and we have here a perfectly straight structure in the ground that looks like it's made of concrete. Unfortunately the image is only in black and white, okay? But a lot of these are way more than half of them. In fact, I would say about 90% of them from this rover are black and white. Okay, nothing I can do about that. But the details are pretty accurate, or I would say reliable, because these aren't messed with. Whereas the colour ones are downgraded quite a lot and are very mucky. These are actually clearer. So there it is. I'll just show you in situ here. You can see it here. Now, how big is this? I don't know. About 10 or 20 feet long. I don't know how far away this is exactly, so I don't know, but it's quite long. I'd say about 15 or 20 feet long. And we have a perfectly straight edge here and a perfectly straight edge there. And we have buried structure in the ground, which is rectangular, like a long wall coming along here. All these fragments are part of a wall, concrete structure, right? That's what it is. There's no way in hell that this is a natural sedimentary piece of rock that just happens to have fragmented in such a perfect shape. Absolutely no way. It's just too good. It's way too perfect to be just a bit of sedimentary clay or something, or shale or whatever. This is concrete, right? You can see that edge there and the corner. So that was that. I'll put a clip of that in at the end. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is this one. Now this is way more complex. This is a good example of what the colour images look like from this rover. This is also the Curiosity rover, Sol 1454, mast left and mast right. We've got a mixture of from each camera here. Different views. This one here is looking sort of northwest, I think, the top one. And this one here, I think, is looking east. And this one's probably looking sort of southwest, this one here. So they're looking all round in a sort of panoramic, but they're all in different shots and aspects, okay? So lots of stuff in here. Now, some of you may have seen a few years ago, I did a video called the Mars Machine Gun, and this is the set of images that it comes from. And you can follow these links here. This will take you to that video here. And it goes on about the Mars Machine Gun. So I'm not going to go on about that much, apart from to say, there it is. It may be not. It's certainly shaped like one, and it has a thin barrel with a thicker part there, what looks like a stand, and then a thicker part coming back like that, like a gun. And there are others in the area that I've shown, okay, including things like cannons and vehicles and other machine guns as well. So follow the links, and it will take you to the video. Now, what I wanted to concentrate on more really was the structure that's underneath it, because this is one of the best examples of a load of rooms in a row that you're going to see in any Mars image, at least as far as I know. And they're kind of stacked up on top of each other. Now, what I want you to imagine is that this obviously is heavily damaged and buried, but you can see the different rooms here. You've got one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. This is the clearest one here. Rectangular room. Partition wall, rectangular room, partition wall, smaller one. There's probably one here, but it's buried in sand. Another one here. There's partitions between each one, okay? Heavily eroded and damaged, but they're there. And you can actually see them quite clearly here. One there, another one here, another one here, one down here. There's probably a whole bunch of them here. So they were in layers, right? So that's your top layer there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's about 10 in a row here. But they're not all visible. There's about 10 there. So there'll probably be another 10 or 12 underneath that. So they were kind of stacked on top of each other, but in a sort of step pyramid type way. So they come out like this, right? We've got a room here and another room below it, sticking out. Okay? So there's one there, and there's another one here, and there's another one here, buried. And there's probably another whole row of them along here. And I would imagine below that there's another whole row of them at the bottom here. And they probably go right down into the ground. And it could be up to I don't know how many stories this would be. That we've got 2 visible stories here, but the rest is buried. I would imagine it's at least 3 or 4, right? And there may be more on top here, which have been blown away. There was probably one here, another one here, another one above this. Who knows how far up this went? This may be the top, actually. But the structures go right down, and you can actually see a long row of rooms and another row heavily buried underneath. And there's probably rows and rows of them going right down into the ground, okay? And here's one exposed from one end here. And some crazy stuff in here. And this was really interesting because what we have here is just below this room section here is a very strange object. Now I'm not sure if anyone's found this before, but I only spotted this like earlier today. And it's a car-shaped object. Now I'm not saying it is a car. I think it's made of rock, but it might not be. It's got a load of kind of concrete stuff around it, and it's quite eroded. But if you look at the shape of it, it's shaped like a car here. There's the front of the car, and the windscreen area, and the window area here, right? But what I think this is a representation of a car-shaped vehicle, which may be a boat, maybe a train, maybe almost anything. But the weird thing is, if you look really carefully, you can see a face right in the middle of it there. An eye there, and an eye there, and a mouth, and a chin coming round, just here. Which is really crazy, right? There's one eye. See that round thing? There's another darker round bit in the middle. There's a nose there. Another eye here, which is a bit harder to see. And then a dark area, which is a mouth here. And you can see this line coming down. Follow my cursor. Line coming down. Chin coming round. And then going up here. And the head actually comes up to here. Right? There we are. And I've got a clip of that here. Absolutely insane. This is mental, this thing. Absolutely mental. This has been enhanced, color corrected, brightened up and darkened. Now you can see the edge of that face more. See that eye there, nose, another eye there which is a bit vague, and a mouth, dark mouth, and a chin coming round here. And you can see the actual vehicle shape a bit more clearly in this view of it. I'll show it in here because this is insane. This is absolutely crazy, right? Let's get in a bit closer. There we are. Here's the same clip I just showed you. Right, there we are. Windscreen. Bonnet. Coming round like this. Possible door. Possible window here. You've got this weird angle here. Coming up. Like that. And loads of sort of weird, pitted, possible concrete attached to it, not only on the back, but may just be leaning on it, but there's sort of fragments of rock underneath, you can see underneath. And there's more stuff going on underneath here as well. Right? Loads of kind of jumbled rocks and architectural fragments. That's what these are. These aren't just rocks, a lot of these things. These are parts of the building from above that have fallen down into the sand here and eroded over many thousands of years. You look really carefully, you can actually see the edge of that face, chin, other edge. This eye is the clearer one, perfectly round, with a darker bit in the middle. There. There's a mouth there. Let's do that again. Mouth here. Nose. And there is an eye there, but it's very unclear. It's eroded. Right? Now, why would you carve a face onto what seems to be shaped, an object shaped like a car or a train or some little vehicle? Why would you do that? Absolutely crazy. And I don't understand why they would need to do that, but it obviously represents something or somebody. Absolutely insane. Perhaps there was a theme park here. I mean, this is just crazy, absolutely crazy. And you can see it actually in the raw image really clearly without doing anything to it. It's just there. There's the enhanced one. We go back to the raw part here. You can actually see all that. If you've got the magnifier, don't go in too close. Hover zoom magnifier. There's that eye. There's the edge of the head. There's the chin coming round. There's that dark area, there's the mouth, the little nose there, and the eroded eye that side. The head comes up like that. But you can see the shape of this thing, and you can see that there. Absolutely insane. So I'll put some clips of that in at the end of the video for you as well, and try and bring that face out a bit more if I can. Okay. So there's some other things in here I want to show you quickly. There was this other one over here. Now, this is right on the edge of this butte here, and there's thousands of fragments here, and a lot of these larger fragments are parts of the structure that have fallen down from above. Okay. And as I showed in this part, we've got multiple rooms. There's another row of rooms below that, and there's probably 2 or 3 or even 4 below that going right down into the ground, and this would probably be the same. This is one end of one of these buttes here, so we're seeing the end of it. So they're quite narrow, but they're like a ziggurat shape in steps with rooms getting wider and wider at the bottom. Okay, that's what I think they are. And just here we have an architectural fragment that's fallen down from the upper part of the structure, and this ended up down near the bottom of this slope here, where all these fragments are. And some of them are very, very strange, and I'm sure there's loads of crazy stuff in here which I haven't even started on. I won't go through all that now, it's just too much. But this one was one of the clearer ones, and it's very large, well, large-ish. This is over a foot high, I'd say 2 feet or something. We got a piece of rock here with another one which has been fitted to it, just here. Now this is a different grain to this rock. This rock is not only a different colour, but it has a very different grain to it, and it's much more pitted, whereas this rock underneath is like a different piece altogether, and this thing is joined to it. So this is stone masonry here, right? These are different rocks joined together, right? So that's what we have. Now let me show you the enhancement, which I've got down here. When you flip it round, what it is actually a depiction of a person with a squarish chin coming around here, a bottom lip here, teeth here, a nose here, an eye there, and what looks like either 2 eyes or one large eye that's broken or eroded off. Okay, there it is. You can see the shape of it. That's the mouth. That shiny bit there is the bottom lip, and you can actually see teeth here, there and there and there, canines, right? So this represents an ape or proto-human, maybe, I don't know. Very strange, but some of this may be glyphs on the top of this as well. I've got it up in here. Let's move that out of the way. I've got it in here, which is a bit brighter, this one. I'll brighten it up a bit more. And you can see that bottom lip. You can see the mouth. Teeth here. Teeth there. Nose coming up here, very kind of angular eye there. This looks like an eye here, and a possible other eye here, or this was one eye and it's eroded and broken away. Okay, so this may have been more rectangular shape like this one, who knows, but it's damaged. And we have some, like in the previous video I showed you, we have possible glyphs on this as well. I don't know if they are, they're not really clear enough, but we got some interesting stuff going on up here. Okay, which may represent glyphs of some sort. Don't know, not clear enough. So there we are, and the head comes round. There's the chin. You see where it's joined. Let's get rid of all that for you. You see where it's joined here. This has been fitted. In other words, this is stone masonry. This hasn't randomly ended up like this. This has been fitted. This pitted rock here is nowhere near the same texture as this thing, which is much smoother and has a grain going this way. Not all pitted like this. So these are 2 different types of rock, let alone 2 different rocks. Okay, so that's what it is. We have a squarish, quasi ape-like or quasi-humanoid looking head with possible glyphs going along the top and very angular features. Okay, very angular. That eye's very angular, and this is all broken up here, this eye. And if you look at the teeth detail, some quite angular stuff going on in here as well. So I don't think this is a natural formation, because you wouldn't have overlapping teeth and lip detail like that. It's very strange. It's a shame it's so eroded, because I'm sure this would have been much more pronounced and easier to work out when it was carved. So this is an architectural fragment. You can see that it's joined. There's the actual rock, and it's joined to this lower part, which is completely different in colour and texture. It's different luminosity, it's lighter and much smoother, whereas this is pitted much more and is probably made of a different type of rock. So we have two carvings, a crazy dude in a car shaped thing. Not saying it is a car, but it's shaped like one, a vehicle, and then a large one attached to this. So there we are. That was it, really. I'll put clips of these in at the end, and I'll flip them to negative as well to see if we can pick out any more details, like the facial details and stuff like that. There may be glyphs on some of these other things as well. But there's so much to see in this Gigapan. I mean, I've only picked out a few of the things here. The angular statue, the car-shaped one over here, and then all these rooms, which I think are actually much more interesting, with the machine gun, or what looks like a machine gun mounted up here. A whole bunch of rooms. There's even slits in this concrete here. A lot of this, I think, is concrete. There's slits in it, like gun ports, right? And then rooms. It's like a huge, long structure. A whole bunch of rooms. Like I said, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's about 10 there. And there's probably 12 underneath that. And then there's probably 14 underneath that. And then there's probably 16 underneath that, and they go right down into the ground. And you can see other rooms on this one as well. You can see partition walls here. There's partition wall there. One there. Sorry, there's one there. Smaller one, buried. One here, coming down. One here. One coming down here, but it's dilapidated. Another one here. So all these structures have got rooms, okay? But they're filled in with sand. But in this case here, they're exposed, and we can see into them, even though they're largely filled with sand. You can see the separate sections here with partition walls coming down with what looks like concrete. This is all now cracked and dilapidated and eroded. Okay, very good example here, and this one is my favourite, the one underneath. This is a smaller room, but was probably just there, and there'd been a whole row of them down here as well. Multiple chambers. And not only that, we have architectural sculpture, which was also probably attached further up this structure and is now fallen down the side. We got one there, we got one there, and there's loads of other little ones in here which I don't have time to show you now. There are loads and loads of little things that have in this, especially this one. Okay, so thanks for watching, everybody. Oh, there was also this, which I haven't showed you. There was a carving of an alien, a grey alien, and a weird bear-like figurine here with an arm and a body and a head here with two eyes there, and that is situated over here, right? Not very clear. There's the alien there, the grey, and there's that Bez-like gargoyle type carving that's there, and above it, just here, there's a pillar which is buried, sticking up like a little pillar with a point to it just there. Okay, and that probably goes right down. You can see a sort of line coming down here. This probably goes right down into the ground, right down here, at least as far as that, probably much further. Okay, so multiple things to see here. I'm sure you'll find loads of stuff. I'm only showing the obvious stuff here. There's simply not enough time in the day to go through all this now. It's fascinating. If you look at the detail in here, it's actually pretty good, and you can see these rooms really clearly without doing anything to that, without doing any enhancements. This is completely raw. These have just been enlarged by 50%, nothing else done to them. Completely raw, and you can see a row of rooms with rooms below it which are buried. So there we are. We have architecture, architectural fragments, architectural sculpture, possible weaponry, all in one set of images, and even what there's a grey alien statue there, and another little figurine next to it. And I'm sure there are loads more in here. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please give the thumbs up and share it on social media. That really helps. If you can't leave a full comment, just leave an emoji. That will count and help these videos. Okay, so thanks for watching. I will see you soon.